Welcome back to another episode of Art of the Float. My name is Dylan. I own the float shop in Portland, Oregon with my lovely wife, Sandra, and I am flying out to Portland, Maine for this year's float conference.
Hey everybody, it's Kim Hannon from Tsukino Float Center in Salt Cave in southern Indiana. I am also going to be at Float Conference. I have a few things to do while we're there, but I'll be there staying as long as I possibly can.
Hello everybody, this is Drew from New Hampshire Float, and I will not be hopping on a plane and going to Portland, Maine, and I will be staying longer than however long Kim stays because I'm only an hour and about 15, 20 minutes away from there. So I'll be driving instead of flying. And I'm really close, so I could go there every single day if I needed to.
Nice.
We also have some guests on the show tonight who will probably be joining us at Float Conference. I think they're going to be there. We are incredibly excited to have our local liaisons for the Float Conference this year who are also board members with us. James and Amy Harder have done a fantastic job not only serving as board members, but also serving as our local liaisons this year. So I assume you guys are going to be in Portland, Oregon for the conference this year, right? Or not Portland, Oregon. Oh my God, Portland, Maine.
Please do not fly out to Portland, Oregon.
I know, don't Portland.
Let's go get a crepe. It's fine, but
maybe
you should probably go to Maine.
Yes, but you guys will be there, right?
We're thinking about it.
Thinking about it? Still on the fence? Well, maybe this episode can help convince you to show up.
I've heard it's a pretty good party.
This is
Can I ask you guys how... Well, welcome to the show, guys. Thank you for being here. We truly do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, they put out a vote, right? They're like, hey, if you want the Float Conference to be in your city, put it out there. What compelled you to go, yes, I want to be a liaison to have the entire Float Conference in my city, and that sounds like fun. What was the impetus for that?
We actually applied before they started putting out a vote.
That's a great way to start. Start running before the timer starts. Yeah.
We just wanted to get them to stop asking. So
yeah,
I'm totally kidding.
Our first float conference was in 2017 after we opened our float center in 2016.
Oh, interesting.
And it was in Portland, Oregon, and a lot of the cool things about Portland, Oregon, we felt like we had those here in Portland, Maine as well. And
cool.
before it even hit the road, we started thinking, man, what if we brought it from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine, Portland to Portland? That would be really cool. And then a couple years later, when the Float Conference became a nonprofit and started hitting the road and they asked for people to apply, we already had a ton of reasons and thoughts of how we could really pull it off great here, so just went for it. Awesome.
I love it. It's what's kind of exciting is that the pandemic is, I always want to say it's not over. We're living in the pandemic, but we're way more comfortable with it. We know what we're dealing with a lot more now, and I feel like we can do a lot more activities now than a few, even say Float Conference last year. It's just you're able to do more. What are the kind of things that you are able to do at this year's Float Conference? Not in the Float Conference, but in Portland, Maine.
So Portland, Maine, we're wide open here. Things are pretty well back to normal, and we love that. Everything that makes Portland awesome and makes us excited to bring it home is ready to be done. So it's a beautiful coastal New England city. The end of August, the weather is going to be peaking. It's prime tourism season. It's the best time of the year to be coming to Maine. So we're super excited about not just hosting people for the Float Conference, because the Float Conference is essentially Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But a lot of people I know, like you guys already mentioned, are planning to stick around for 2, 3, 4 days on one or both sides of the conference. So
I'm just moving in with you guys.
Seeing some beautiful New England is going to be great.
Something that we've always enjoyed about the Float Conference is traveling on either side of it. It's actually been our only vacation since opening our float center. a little over 6 years ago. So yeah, we're hoping that that others will be able to plan some travel around either side of their float conference this year as well. We have just so many beautiful outdoor attractions in Maine, from lighthouses and
I mean, lighthouses are pretty quintessential. I mean, if you're in Maine for more than a day or two and out and about, you're gonna see a lighthouse, and
Wow.
and they're just as beautiful as you see on all the old lady Afghans around the country. So definitely don't shy away from them because they're real cliche. Go check out a lighthouse. You're gonna enjoy it.
You got me.
we've got cruises and whale watches and just like beautiful
cool.
beaches.
Yeah, the ocean.
I think
obviously, a lot of people have ocean where they're from, but if you don't, definitely go jump in the ocean. It's not going to be like the ocean in Florida. It's cold. It's cold in Maine, no matter how hot it is outside. But a lot of people in the industry are into cold plunges right now, so it's kind of like nature's cold plunge, the ocean in Maine.
That's great.
I love it.
I don't. Oh, go ahead, Kim.
No, I was saying, we're really considering doing a whale watching tour. That's just something that we always enjoy doing. And while we're there, why not? We're like you guys. We're not very good at taking vacations. We kind of get around to them every couple of years. But Portland's one of those cities that's just so gorgeous. You really have to take advantage while you're there.
All right.
Sure.
And when you say we, who are you talking about, Kim?
The other Graham, my husband and my business partner, but not the Graham Talley that everybody knows, the Graham Hannon.
Who everybody wants to know.
Everybody needs to know. It's so funny because he's at events. He's the extrovert, and I'm super introverted. And but when it comes to float people, we're the opposite. He kind of is a little quiet and reserved, and I'm all over the place. Of course, I'm exhausted at the end of the day and need to totally recharge, and he's totally fine. But yeah. He's fun to hang out with.
Can I be a third wheel on the whale watching? Is that you guys' sweet date?
Dylan, we would love to have you, Dylan.
I'm sure he would. Yes.
Yes.
So I feel like a mistake I've made. So I guess Denver is really my only example of it. Is showing up there just in time, feeling basically hungover, from the flight and the sleep deprivation and all that from the flight. Going to the float conference and then getting out immediately. And I will say this was a little bit more when my family was younger. And so being away was really difficult, and thinking Sandra's all by herself with the kids was tough. That's a mistake. This time I'm booking time beforehand to get over the flight distance, because I'm probably furthest in the States that you possibly can be to the flight from Portland, Maine, or to Portland, Maine. So I'm taking some time beforehand to recoup and just explore the city, check things out, which I'm really excited about, that I'm actually taking the time to do that this time. Why go into a city only to go into a building and, the float conference is what it is. It's very special, but it's in a special city. So I'm going to be taking part this time.
Totally. Yeah, we've definitely taken time every float conference that we've gone to and stuck around, a couple days after and arrived a couple days early, and it's led to some real magical times, and I'm sure anybody coming up here is going to experience the same thing.
I heard of some float friends that are renting a van after, and then they're going to head to Acadia National Park. So
yeah, Acadia National Park. Yeah. It's a couple hours north. Beautiful national park. Just a magical place for sure.
Man, maybe I'll third wheel along with them as well. That sounds great.
You should just make a list of all the third wheels you want to make.
What's everybody doing? I'll join you.
In addition to the natural beauty of Maine, which is a big thing. I know you guys talk a lot on the podcast about the summer slump. And we experience that a lot in Portland because, summer's short here in Maine. We have long, brutal winters. So during the summer, things slow down quite a lot at Float Harbor pretty typically, because summer's short in Maine. People want to be outside when they can be. And we have such amazing natural beauty around. That said, in addition to the outdoors, we do have some really great museums, some great concert venues. the food scene around here is just ridiculous. I mean, if you had 3 weeks to hang out in Portland, you could eat your way around.
Awesome.
And hit all
I was going to ask about
breweries.
that.
Yeah, we have.
That's great.
We have just a couple of years ago, Maine's #1 export switched from lobster to craft beer. So we have ridiculously amazing craft beer. And yeah, just restaurants for days. So
okay, great.
You know, if you don't know us personally, shoot us a message and tell us what kind of cuisine you're into, and because it's ridiculous how
damn.
Good food is.
And if you don't know James and Amy personally, like, you are seriously missing out on two of the most awesome humans on the planet. So you absolutely should. Like, before I actually knew James and Amy, I had met them, I think, at Rise and had pictures together and all of this stuff, but it didn't like click in my head who they were. And then the next time I saw them, they were like old friends. And like, I feel like I've known you guys for forever, but everybody needs to know you all. Like, you're just good people. So, yeah.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys for hosting. I'm incredibly excited about it. And, you know, just what you guys were saying too. Dylan, I was kind of like you. Like, I used to go to the conference and I didn't stick around. I didn't know any better. And, you know, that's something that I know we as a conference organization need to do a little better job of really promoting, is stick around, because there's so much magic that happens in the conference. But some of the most amazing connections in that big magic is if you give yourself a little space outside of the conference to really connect with people. And it's okay if you don't have plans. Like, it's fun to create as many plans as you can. But even if you haven't had a chance to book anything or do anything or plan anything, like, you will absolutely find people to hang out with, stuff to do. Like, there are so many little moments of magic that are going to be happening after hours and before the conference, after the conference. And it just blows my mind how amazing, like, and some of the best humans that I've met and the best friends that I've ever made are like those little bitty moments that I'm like, you know what, let me stick around for an extra day. Or whenever I'm rushing to catch my plane because I should not have been flying out the last day of the conference, and laying on the airport floor crying because I'm so sad to leave and missing out on all the fun. I'm like, I don't want to go. Yeah. It's true.
It's true.
Can I jump in real quick as someone who doesn't live in Maine but loves Maine? Because I have traveled a little bit around the country, and Maine is a very unique place in that there's a lot of history there, and it's very, like, hardworking, like, tough as nails. Get a finger chopped off while you're out lobstering, and you'll go take care of it later because you got a job to do type of people. Like, very, it's the,
That's true. That Amy has that story. That was her.
Yeah. So it's a very unique place, and it's not where, like, Southern California, it's got, like, all developed along the coastline with all the multi-million-dollar homes. That's not Maine. There's still a lot of beauty to it. Not everything has been developed. It's still in a lot of ways, kind of comparatively untouched compared to other places. And there's like a beauty about that. If you're into any type of history at all, you just, as you walk around and drive around, you can just feel the weathered years and years of hard living that people go through. And that's like the Northeast, right? There's a little bit of an attitude and a little bit of an edge to the people, because I think partly because of the weather. It's sometimes a little difficult to deal with. Yeah, but it creates this character that is really, really cool. And I also wanted to throw in the fact that the food is absolutely amazing. Like,
damn, okay.
That
was my big question for tonight.
How awesome the food is there. Yeah, and if you like seafood, obviously you have to eat lobster, and there's lots of places to eat lobster there. And if you've never had a Maine lobster, you got to just get one with butter and just a bunch of butter dripping on your chin, and it is the most delicious thing in the world. So that's my sale.
I mean, he's
on
not
that.
wrong.
And
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Okay.
And out here
I just have to say, though, that, like, hold on, Drew. If you all are listening to this right now and not watching it on YouTube, you totally need to sign into YouTube to watch Drew, like, mime eating lobster with butter dripping off of his face. You have to watch it.
and you're gonna get your cheapest lobster because you're in Maine. So that's the other reason to do that. Yeah.
Yes,
I love hearing what lobster prices are.
in.
I've sometimes paid $3.99 a pound for Maine lobster because it's right here, right? And I'll talk to people who live elsewhere, and they're like, it's $17.99 a pound. I'm like,
Yeah.
Bro, are you talking
it's
about
Oscar.
like 1990s prices? Because I don't think it's been below $100 off the East Coast for
it has happened.
decades,
Not anymore,
bro.
but
As Eddie Izzard says, Europe is where the history comes from. And that's what I feel like when I visit the East Coast. It's like, oh my God, these buildings have been here forever. Like 100 years? More than 100? What? It's crazy. Because in Portland, like literally 100-year-old building is ancient. But your guys' the structures that are there, and like I love old churches, all that stuff is just so beautiful. So I'm excited to see some of the history as well, because we do not have that the same way on the West Coast at all.
It's funny because when we started planning the Portland, Maine conference, I had to really work to get everybody to stop calling us the other Portland.
Because we're the OG Portland. We're the real deal.
Totally.
It started here.
first ones. They're the other Portland.
That's right. It's the Maine Event.
Yeah.
Oh, come
Maine
on.
Event.
The main event, nice.
We
the
had a
Maine
blast
Event.
out in that Portland, too. The other Portland.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, nothing wrong with our Portland. What has that meant for you guys to be the Portland liaison to the float conference? What does that entail? Is it just a name badge you wear on the weekend of the conference, or is there a little bit more to
it's just
it?
a trophy that we have.
Yeah.
Sweet, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
There's
much
literally a
everything,
trophy,
you know.
actually.
Oh, really?
No, the trophy is amazing. It's been sitting at our front desk for a little while now.
It's
and
really drumming
cool.
up some interest. People are just
Yeah,
so
like,
curious
what the hell is
about
that?
what a float
Yeah.
conference cup is.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
God, that's awesome! Cool.
It's been great, and it's exactly what we signed up for. We knew going into it that it'd be a lot of work. We have a lot of friends in the community and a lot of different industries that we're roping in to help make the conference just as awesome as we can make it. And since we came to our first float conference, like I said, in 2017, it's been so special to us. And even in 2020 when we went fully virtual, like I think we really pulled off an amazing virtual conference, and it kept the community really tightly knit through that whole craziness. And we're really excited to show the float family, a great time here in Portland.
Nice.
There were some venues that we were looking at, and they just weren't willing to work with us on some of the details of what we wanted to bring to the conference. So it was just like, no, that's not going to work. We're not bringing people to Portland, Maine to eat, lame conference center food. We want to bring some Portland flair to it.
So we're really excited to be in the Cross Insurance Arena, the home of the Maine Mariners.
Used to be the Cumberland County Civic Center. It's where the Grateful Dead played years ago, and it's the largest venue in the state. So largest indoor venue in the state. And we're going to take it over just a couple of days after Jack White performs there. So
Nice.
It's going to be cool. So if you have a few more days to spend and you want to come see some amazing music,
It's going to be a good time.
So I'll have to Google that. Yeah, when is Jack White playing?
I want to say it's a Tuesday, and we take the venue over on Wednesday or Thursday.
Wow.
So,
All right.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. Look into it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some of his sweat will still be on stage. Awesome. Nice.
Easy, Dylan.
He's an insane man, but he plays some insane guitar too. He's pretty talented. Some have said. What did I want to ask? I don't know how much you guys specifically know, but and maybe Kim can add to this too. But I'm also just curious about the float conference itself. I feel like it's been evolving a little bit since the kind of the handoff from the I was going to say float on, but like the Graham and Ashcon float conference. That it's been evolving. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on and maybe some highlights of this year's float conference? Actually, you know what? Pause right there. What is that shirt you're wearing, Amy? What is that?
Oh, this?
I think I recognize that logo.
This is some sweet swag from my favorite people over at Helmbot.
Helmbot? What is this Helmbot you talk about?
Helmbot, it's just the software that we use to run basically our lives. Our float center. It does our employees' scheduling, and employees can clock in and out on it. The part that I really love about it is that it helps to manage my mailing list. I use an API key to connect it to my MailChimp. And
smart.
I thought I was getting...
He's petting Charlie.
There's a dog on screen.
There's a dog. There's a dog.
There's a dog, so that's the end of my...
No. I think that's the beginning of your Helmbot ad. How do you use your... Your Helmbot... Jeez, I can't form words. Helmbot API linking into MailChimp. How do you use that? You were talking about...
Yeah, so...
Was it specific?
When we make a Helm account for a new customer, they automatically get added to our email list. And if they choose to unsubscribe within the Helm, then it takes them off of our MailChimp list. It automatically regulates it. Subscription.
So you're not copying and pasting Excel spreadsheets to update your MailChimp? Nice. Great. I should probably get on that. Okay. I'll go ahead and unlink those. Great. Yeah. Sometimes I'm a little slow on a few of the things. It's okay.
Helmbot's been amazing. When we first opened, we started working with them, and yeah, it's been really interesting to watch them evolve from what were we in the first 50 or so clients that they have.
Oh wow!
To watch it grow and see the way that they have helped the industry and evolved with us. So.
In addition to operating Float Harder, we've also opened a float center in New Haven, Connecticut, and we have different modalities there. We have cryotherapy and massage and sauna, and it's been really interesting to see how Helmbot has been growing into all these different modalities and offering classes and stuff.
Yep. I completely agreed with that. If you are starting a float center, or if you already run a float center, I can't tell you how much we recommend Helmbot. Helmbot.com is where you want to go to investigate the software, but also, as I always say, just schedule the tour. They're going to walk you through everything. They know it top to bottom, ask all the questions, and make sure it's a good fit for you. And yeah, whether you're just using float tanks or you have all sorts of different things, like whether it's LMT massage therapists, whether you have classes, whatever it is, they can take care of you within Helm. It's quite the little suite that they've got. Helmbot.com, again, is where you want to go. Now, what was my question again? The float conference? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. You were asking about how things have changed, I think.
Well, I was actually talking about, how things have changed and what's going to be at this year's float conference. Like, what do we have to look forward to?
Yeah. Obviously those crazy Portland, Oregon, the other Portland kids from Float On. I mean, they just killed it for the first 7 years of the Float Conference. I mean, It was amazing. And, that's what got all of us in the industry to fall in love with this event. And I've heard so many people say that it's their Christmas to go to Float Conference. And, that definitely resonates with us as well. And, it's really hard to do much more than what they've done. And therefore, we're not trying to do much more. We're just trying to get right there.
It's a high bar to hit. Yeah,
it is.
I think maybe Kim has a little more to add, but I can only comment on the parties because that's the committee that I'm on.
Nice.
Yes.
Please do comment on the parties.
Tell us about the parties.
We're going to party.
Yeah.
We're going to party.
We're going to party.
You like to party?
We're going to welcome everybody at the Friday welcome party in the Float Harder parking lot, which we're really excited about. We just finalized the menu with the restaurant that's right next door to us. The Other Side Diner is what it's called.
It's going to be Greek barbecue with some vegan options as well for anybody who's not into the whole barbecue. We'll have some beverages. We'll have some music. We're just going to hang out, have a great time, welcome everybody to Portland.
Super cool.
I think we're
do we get to see your center?
We'll have some some DJs.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and Float Harder, of course, will be open. We can just roll through there and check it out as much as you'd like.
And for our Saturday party, are we telling everything? We're telling it all
Sure.
here?
Yeah, we'll delete it
No holds barred.
if there's a weird beep right here. No, we had to cut something, but no.
Spill it.
Saturday night, we're going to be at Bayside Bowl. It's a really fun bowling alley with a rooftop, open area with a taco truck up on top.
Yeah, taking it to the roof.
There's you guys wait. Say
Taco
that again.
truck
Say
on
that
top.
again. Yes, thank you, thank you, Dylan, for catching that.
Rooftop taco trucks. You guys don't have those in the other Portland?
Actually, in an old airstrip.
Ah, shoot! He finally one-upped us.
Yeah, and then Sunday traditionally there's not an official party, but if you know the Harders, which you all three do,
You should,
then,
if you
believe
don't.
me,
Yeah.
there will be a Sunday party. So
Nice.
Yeah.
stick
Excellent.
around for Sunday. Don't miss it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So if you
So I
haven't,
think we have. Oh,
if you haven't bought your flight yet, or booked your hotel, you definitely need to do that. We have details on floatconference.com/travel. You can get a bunch of information on there, but everything starts on Friday. We have some wellness workshops that are going to be happening. We have some pre-conference events, the certified pool operator CPO class. We've got the Starter Center workshop,
Speaking of those,
which is
those,
huge.
Those are all invaluable. We didn't
Yes.
do the float tank solution starter center workshop, but everyone that we've spoke to that has done it has just said how incredibly invaluable it was. We did do the CPO course out in Denver with Drew. Drew was always trying to look over at my paper. It was ridiculous. I was like, come on, man. But you did good, right? You did good.
I think our studio is actually due for renewal.
Yeah, we might have to be. We might be doing the
Stop.
CPO again this
Stop.
year. Yeah, so those are amazingly valuable opportunities for sure. Check them out.
cool.
Yeah, and then we have the more casual workshops kind of starting up on Friday as well. We have small group workshops that are happening, and the group workshops are not going to be live streamed this year. We learned a very painful lesson last year that we cannot afford a full AV team, and unfortunately, Jocelyn and I were the only two running all of that, trying to run the live event and the online event, and we failed the online folks, and we don't want to overpromise that this year. So the mainstream or the main stage things will be live streamed, but those workshops are only available in person. So workshops start on Friday, and then all of the main workshops on the main stage are going to be starting on Saturday. But we also have some workshops that are sprinkled in throughout the day Saturday, through all day Sunday. And then we don't even close Sunday until 4-ish. And then there's all the socializing and the longest goodbyes ever for the people who are leaving. But most of us are just going to be all right, cool, the conference is over, let's go hang out.
And there will be hanging out.
There will be hanging out. I would not personally recommend leaving before Monday afternoon at the earliest. Hang out till Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or the next Friday, whatever. But it's worth arriving early. It'll be a little quieter in the early days. It'll be a whole lot of activity for the conference, and then typically, there's some big fun events that happen after the conference, and then some kind of groups will start to just break off and go do different things, and just ask around. If you don't know people, just ask around. Hey guys, what should I be doing? And you'll be able to find somebody or something to do. And if not, come find me. Cool. Come find James and Amy. We will absolutely help point you in the right direction for finding people to connect with and some fun to be had.
Go ahead.
Oh, please, Drew. No, you
All
go
right.
ahead.
I just wanted to jump in and hijack the Float Conference talk just to do a little cross promotion, because James and I are also both part of the Float Tank Association Board of Directors. And as part of that, I was hoping James might be able to speak to it a little bit, because also the people there from the Board of Directors will be wearing something that identifies them, so they are also people that you could talk to and ask questions to and
cool.
about floating. And hopefully it's a signal that there are some friendly people that if you're just standing around not really sure who to talk to, pick someone who is either wearing we haven't decided. I think it's between a...
Slow down. Don't just
all right, I won't say it. I won't say it.
Yeah.
You can yeah, all right, I won't say it.
It'll be obvious. It'll be obvious.
You'll know who we are.
You'll know.
Yeah.
But James, that's something that is happening as well, correct?
Totally, yeah. So, like Drew said, we're both on the board for the Float Tank Association, and there will be a Float Tank Association members only event happening at some point during the conference. So if you're not a member, please do get involved. And since Drew brought it up, the Float Tank Association is also about to open nominations for our next board election. And the board election will, the last day of the election will coincide with the last day of the Float Conference. So, if you are interested in being on the board, please throw your name in the hat. And if you know someone else who you think would be great on the board, nominate them. We'll get in touch with them and see about them being involved as well. But yeah, the Float Tank Association is definitely going to have a presence there, and we'd love to see everyone part of that event. It would be great if it was just like, all right, now it's time for the members only event, and that's everybody. So
yeah, right.
And I'm gonna ditto that, because the Float Conference Board of Directors will also be opening up for applications very soon, and we will be hosting kind of a special thing for anybody who has applied, so that we can get to know everybody ahead of time before all of the votes go in. So there will be open applications that we're going to be announcing very, very soon as well. So,
yeah. And if you're in the industry and you want to make best friends with Drew and Kim and Gloria and Dylan, get involved with these organizations that are driving this industry forward. We're all working our tails off, and I think everyone on all of the boards owns between 1 and 17 businesses. I'm thinking of Peter Sharp particularly.
Yes. Who is still on calls at 3 a.m. his time. It doesn't matter. He still joins us.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, folks, get involved and help us drive this industry forward. Obviously, the last couple of years have been brutal for a lot of us, and we want to be here to support one another and help one another out. So if you have the capacity to, definitely please get involved. If not on the board, then on a committee. And
you got it.
And if I may say that, for the Float Tank Association Board of Directors, my seat is actually up. I've served my 2-year term, and I'm going to continue to stay on one of the committees and continue to help. And I've always said it is one of the best things I've ever done is put myself out there, because I have a list of a dozen or a couple dozen people that I could reach out to if I had a problem with some random thing on my float tank. Funny. I can go right down the line and start asking, hey, do you know about this? Do you know about this? And if I didn't know anybody, I'd feel probably a lot more anxious about running my float center, but I have a lot of cool people in my corner that are willing to help. And I think that comes from putting yourself out there and getting involved. And I always screw this up, but a rising boat lifts all seas. Nailed it.
That's correct.
Nailed it.
If you're looking for another way to find a friendly face at Float Conference, we're also doing the Buddy program again this year, which is where Float Center, Float Conference. Take it away, Kim.
Word.
Basically, if you've been to the conference or not, you can sign up to be a buddy. And we have kind of big buddies and little buddies, where if the big buddy is typically somebody who has been to several events and knows the lay of the land, can help to introduce you to people. And if you are new, and it doesn't have to be your first time. Maybe you've been to a few events, but you feel like you haven't really met people and you'd like to kind of get in a little bit more, then you can sign up as a little buddy and still get connected with a big buddy who can help you kind of get to know other people, at the event. It's not formal and structured and scary, but it's really just a chance to have at least one person that you can connect with, and that person can help you to connect with other people as well. They might end up being, an amazing connection of their own, and you might end up, becoming really great friends with that particular buddy, whether you're on the big or the little side. But they can also help you to kind of get to know other people, and especially if you're an introvert, it is so intimidating at times to walk into an event like this, especially for so many of us who know each other, who've been working together for years, who've had these amazing experiences, stepping up and serving in volunteer roles on different organizations, that it can be intimidating because we all know each other, love each other, and then this new guy walks up like, I don't know anybody. And
we love that guy
signing
too.
up as exactly. We love you too, and we just don't know you yet. But come on in.
That's strangely me too, by the way. I'm the one who's I don't know anybody. Maybe I'll sign up as a little buddy.
You can be my little buddy, Dylan.
I should say we'll pair you up with James.
Thanks, big buddy.
And I want to echo what Drew said. Getting involved in this industry was absolutely life-changing, and absolutely one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life. Stepping in to help with Art of the Float, with the Float Conference, I am just blown away by the support network that I have, and. Again, we text each other regularly, not just about Float Conference stuff, but I have friends that may live across the country, but I know more about what's happening in their lives than I do my friends here.
Easy pick. Let's not save it all.
We won't talk about that, Dylan. We're not going to talk about that. But it is true, and especially if you are somebody who feels like you want something more in your life, throw yourself out there, offer a little bit of your time to this industry, and you will get a return that you just can't even put a price on.
But before you commit to that, meet these crazy people in person at the Float Conference in Portland, Maine. Drew, what were you going to say?
I was just going to make a joke that if you're worried about not having time to do work by getting involved, don't worry. There's plenty of people who get involved who don't do anything. So join us. Come on in and join us. We're going to have fun anyway.
It's going to be fun. Guaranteed. No matter what happens, we will have fun.
I love it.
And
I will just
early bird
quick,
tickets, really quickly, Dylan. Early bird tickets are only available for a little bit longer. So if you are interested in coming to the conference, there will be a price increase in August. So get your tickets in July, please. Come and join us. Get your flights booked. Get your hotel or Airbnb booked. We have a whole bunch of lodging options. They're listed on our website this year. So, but it's time. We're 2 months out. Make it happen, because we want to see you there and collect some amazing hugs.
It's almost time to party.
Harder. Party harder.
Party harder. Nice. I just officially found out I'll be doing a workshop for float photography. All the information I've been holding to myself for all these years, finally going to let it out and share with other people. So that'll be super fun. Are there other cool workshops that you're aware of that we can announce?
We have so many, and we're actually just starting. Wow. There will be an email coming. Probably by the time you listen to this episode, you may have an email in your inbox letting you know some of the specific workshops that we're doing. But I'm going to be presenting about a little sales funnel, how to create an organic sales funnel that really feels good for your team. We have wellness options. We have breath work workshops. We have folks who are going to be talking about membership. We have how to avoid burnout. Honestly, there's so much. There's always a piece of sanitation, some marketing stuff, and we are in the process right now of releasing all of those speakers and workshops and finalizing the last few. We're closing applications for speakers soon. Actually, our main stage, I think, is pretty full, so we probably won't have any additional main stage speakers. We're just getting confirmations from everybody, and we'll have that full list pretty soon. So,
cool.
a ton of amazing workshops coming in. Awesome. And speakers.
Yeah, speaking of speakers, it's always awesome to have Dr. Feinstein on stage, and hate to tease it, but there's some really cool information coming from Dr. Feinstein this year that I'm excited to A, to be privy to at all, but B, to see go public. So that'll be really awesome. Mm-hmm. Hearters, is there anything, besides it being time to party, is there anything else you want to leave us with as we close out the show?
I think the only thing I would want to add is, a lot of times people look at the Float Conference or the Float Tank Association as just a simply transactional experience. What am I getting out of it? And, while there is so much to get out of it, also think about what you're putting back into it. And, whether that's just the funds that you contribute for your attendance to it, or, getting involved in more ways. I would just love to see more people get involved.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be a hell of a party. So, yeah, please come out. We're going to have a blast. There's going to be so much like we all talked about here tonight. But, get involved.
Amy, any final words from you?
Portland, Maine. Just show up in the right Portland.
Fair enough. I love it. All right. We gotta put a pin in this one. Thank you guys so much for being here. I truly appreciate this. This was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot about Portland, Maine. Now I'm really excited to get there, and I think I'm going to extend my day. I was planning on showing up early. I think I'm going to extend it out a day as well. Yes, James.
Totally. There's only one state in the entire country that only touches one other state.
Oh my God! What state is that?
Maine.
Oh
my God! Whoa, what a coincidence!
And also,
I have to go.
Also, real quick, Portland, Maine was founded in 1636. Pilgrims came in 1620. It was incorporated in 1786, 10 years after our country was founded. So it was definitely before Portland, Oregon.
Oh!
Just saying.
Darn! Damn. Well, I'll walk away.
But not to alienate all the Portland, Oregon folks. We love you guys. We came and partied with you. Come party with us.
But
it's gonna
we're
be
definitely
awesome.
The OGs. Okay.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you guys. I also want to shout out my co-hosts because they are fantastic and they know all of my dirty secrets, which is, I think, what Drew was talking about. Join one of these orgs and know other people's dirty secrets. It's great. Let's see here. Thank you for listening. Thanks for, hopefully, I get to see you at the Float Conference. I am not an extrovert. I am a very one-on-one small group person anyway, so come say hi. I love the one-on-one stuff. Even if I'm awkward and shy and in the corner or whatever, I love meeting everybody in the industry. So please come say hi to me, along with the people in their ridiculous FTA regalia, whatever that is, and the Float Conference liaisons as well. Let's see here. Thanks to Helmbach for supporting. Oh my gosh, Float Conference Wear is coming up. Okay, yep.
Yes.
That's why we have a video podcast. Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting us on Patreon. Oh, I should note we have, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but we have some clothes from Flux that you can wear. So everybody at the Float Shop now has Float Facilitator styled shirts that they can wear at the shop, so people know that they work at the shop and represent with some Float Caduceus logo regalia. And let's see here. I think that's about it. Thanks to Olga for producing this show. And as always, in such a small industry, don't just nice more Float Conference gear coming up. In such a small industry, don't just ask what the float industry can do for you. Ask what you can do for the float industry. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.